Eat, sleep, game, repeat. We've all spent our lives living by this wise quote, but what does it truly mean? To me, it means to experience a game to its fullest. In recent years, I've found that I love 100%ing games. In light of that, I decided to rank all the games I 100%ed prior to making this channel, which came to a grand total of 27 different games. I know, it's a lot. What? These games span different genres, tones, and most importantly, quality. I ranked all 27 games based on two main factors: how fun the game itself was, and how fun it was to 100%. Also, for funsies, I did a difficulty ranking, but that doesn't really tie into the ranks at all. Now, let's kick it off with number 2. Yes, you are hearing that right. Krunker, the low-key mid-shooter game we all played in school to pass time. It actually got a Steam release, if you didn't know. And with that, Krunker got Steam achievements. What could the achievements be? Getting rank, getting kills, unlocking everything?
No.
All you have to do is boot up the game and you get the one and only achievement. What a joke! I worked my ass off to get my 100%. And you take these shortcuts and you think suddenly you're my peer? You do what I do because you're funny and you can make people laugh? I committed my life to this! Yes, this is a real game, and it's not a one-off either. This is an entire franchise on Steam. Cats Hidden in Paris is a Where's Waldo hidden object game, where all you do is look at a picture and click Cats Hidden. And guess what? Paris. I heard about this game from a video and I had to check it out, and it was exactly what I expected. It took me a grand total of 8 minutes to find all of them. Very rewarding. Please don't click off the video. I promise you I don't only play slop. Fungiman is the inverse of Slenderman. Instead of averting your eyes, you must stare down the titular Fungiman while you collect donuts. Fungiman isn't only single player. You can play it multiplayer as well. At least that's what it's supposed to be. The multiplayer has never worked for me or my friends. Now the single player, woo! Now that's my bread and butter. I grinded this game to completion for a video that I never uploaded on my old channel. Awesome. Glad I spent 3 hours playing this. Okay, this is the last free game on Steam I've 100%ed, but this is actually good. The Looker is a short parody of the puzzle game The Witness. The Witness is one of the best puzzle games ever made, but I want to know that because I never played it or finished watching the Aliens Rock playthrough of it. The Looker is a great game with actually funny moments. It's probably a lot more enjoyable if you've played The Witness, but as a standalone, it's still worth checking out. First paid game on the list, and it's pretty good. Sizeable is a really short, cozy puzzle game about changing the size of objects to complete puzzles. Sounds great. Where's the harm in it? Get this. Sizeable had this one stupid speedrun achievement. What? A speedrun achievement for a relaxing puzzle game. I never wanted to even try to get it. But they removed it, so now I have 100%. Thanks, Business Goose Studios. Truthfully, I never got the hype behind this game. Kindergarten is a simple puzzle game, but it's fun, and it still holds up surprisingly well. It's not bad, but it's nothing that crazy either. I had fun going and getting all the achievements, but I feel like most of my fun came from the fact that it was nostalgic for me. I did have fun getting all the Monstermon cards, but Kindergarten is just way too easy and way too short. Now this game is awesome as nails. Blood and Bacon is an extremely weird round-based shooter, kind of similar to COD Zombies, but with evil, nasty pigs instead. I had a lot of fun getting the achievements for this game. I got a group of 3 of my friends together that I don't really hang out too much with anymore, and we played it together. It's a cheap, fun, classic shooter that I can recommend, but if you're wanting to 100% it, you do need 3 other people to get all the achievements. Also, some of the achievements are so incredibly niche, like you have to die so you can enter free roam, the clip out of the map, to find a key. SUPERHOT Mind Control Delete is a really fun roguelike sequel to SUPERHOT. This game would have been much higher on the list, except for one achievement that I genuinely think is so bad that it ruins the 100% for me. You have to wait 2 hours and 30 minutes on a loading screen to get an achievement. Why does something like this even exist in a game? Guess what? That's after they changed it. It used to be 8 hours. SUPERHOT Mind Control Delete is a relatively short game, so a good third of your playtime will just be sitting there and waiting for the achievement. Other than that achievement, SUPERHOT Mind Control Delete was a blast to play, and I highly recommend it. Kill It With Fire is a game about killing cartoony spiders with a whole lot of random things, like clipboards, frying pans, lawnmowers, flamethrowers, firearms, laser swords, and even a shoe. I like Kill It With Fire, but there's not a whole lot to say about it. You go and kill spiders with random stuff, and it's fun, except for that one stupid lawnmower achievement. It's so ridiculously precise, and it took me an hour just to get it. I spent an hour mowing a lawn in a video game. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Eyes of Heaven, was actually the first game I ever 100%ed, so it holds a special place in my heart. Eyes of Heaven is a janky 3D arena battler, so much care put into it. Its gameplay is weird but fun at the same time. It's also pretty unbalanced and poorly designed, but that doesn't make it feel bad to play. If you want to play multiplayer, better hope your friend can come over, because the online gameplay is horrible. It disconnects every 2 seconds, and if it doesn't, you play with the craziest stutters of all time. Even with these really glaring flaws, it has so much passion and soul behind it. Special interactions every character has with each other are so cool. The deeper you get into JoJo's, the more you appreciate everything in this game. One Piece World Seeker is a small open-world action-adventure game. I mean, the game itself isn't that small. It has a good amount of content, but the map sure is. I love One Piece, and I've been trying to 100% every One Piece game, and this was the second one I did, and it completely killed my energy towards that goal. The main game is actually well made. The open world is fun to explore, Luffy controls very fluidly, but the story is kind of mid and generic. Besides that, I had fun with it. It's cool to have an open world One Piece game. The DLC, on the other hand, is pure garbage. There's 3 other characters you can play besides Luffy as DLC. Law, Zoro, and Sabo? I mean, I like Sabo, but what? These 3 character stories are even worse than the base game story already is, and they aren't as fun to control as Luffy is. Law and Sabo feel nice, but underdeveloped. And Zoro is the least fun I had playing World Seeker, hands down. Zoro controls like he's moving through molasses, constantly. Everyone has fun traversal gameplay. Law can teleport, Sabo can fly, and Zoro, he gets to walk and jump high. Wow! So fun! On top of that, Zoro has this albeit funny but stupid gimmick that his map is blurred and you can't see anything. Overall, the DLCs just add so much recycled content, but this time you play as a different character. Dragon Quest Builders. Ooh boy! This is the Dragon Quest equivalent to Minecraft, and it's pretty solid. You go area to area solving the villagers' problems, and eventually you fight a big boss and you cure the land of its plight. I have to specifically mention that I got the 100% on Steam, which is a lot easier compared to the original releases. To get perfection, you have to complete 5 special goals in each area, and in the original, one of the goals in each area was a speedrun goal, on top of everything else. Why do random cozy games always have a shitty speedrun goal? Thankfully, the Steam release has a lot of quality of life changes and is so much better than the original release. This game has a surprising amount of content in it. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 is a classic hack and slash game. This was the first One Piece game I ever played, and I grinded the hell out of it. I started playing it around when I got to Whole Cake Island in the anime, which was perfect because the main story goes up to Whole Cake Island. Technically, it has Wano in it, but it's like a bootleg fan-made Wano. Wano wasn't even nearing completion when they were developing this, so they made their own Wano story, and you can tell. The gameplay is a little monotonous at some points, but it's just simple fun. The co-op is great as well. I had a blast turning my brain off with my friend and just wailing on everyone. The biggest downside is that they cut a lot of areas from One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 from this game. You start in Alabasta and you skip most of the arcs, which is sad. Hopefully, when they do inevitably make Pirate Warriors 5, they add all the cut content and we get every arc represented. If you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. It really helps out the channel and lets me keep making stuff like this. Holy crap. This game is so good and worth it for the price and length of it. Pony Island is a coding puzzle platformer, I guess? First of all, you need to play this game entirely blind. That's how I did it, and it was 100% worth it. It took me 5-ish hours to 100% the game, and 100%ing it wasn't hard at all. Pony Island is also really cheap on sale. Like, I'm talking really cheap. Like, specifically, 74 cents cheap. I love you, Daniel Mullen Games. I can't wait for Pony Island 2. It's gonna be Game of the Year when it releases. If you're living under an actual rock, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated is an action-adventure platformer, and guess what? SpongeBob's in it. I remember how hyped I was for this when it got announced. I loved playing the original with my brother when we were younger. I got the game day one and grinded it. I was barely let down. It's a very solid platformer. I still believe that this is easily the best SpongeBob game to date. Maybe besides the plug-and-play SpongeBob racing game. Shout out if you've ever played that. I live streamed me 100%ing the entire game, and it was a blast. The new multiplayer content was really lackluster though, and I was very excited for that part. So that was a letdown for me. Journey to the Savage Planet is a wacky action-adventure Metroidvania. I gotta say, this game is so perfectly goofy and kind of serious at the same time. It's like if High on Life was a good game and not a Reddit soy clip farm simulator.
Hey, it's me, Jack Black.
Journey to the Savage Planet was another game I played through on my last channel. The playthrough itself was bad, but I had fun making it. The DLC, Hot Garbage, no, I didn't make that name up, is pretty good, but has annoying achievements compared to the base game. The only achievement that kinda stinks is scanning everything in the DLC, because what the f do you mean I have to explore this giant area to scan a flower I missed? I want to play the sequel, so let me know in the comments if I should make a video about it. Cult of the Lamb is basically Animal Crossing as a roguelite. The game is very fun, but it's lacking some content. Most of the game is just replaying the same 4 areas like 3 times, which would be fine if there was more content in those areas. You pretty much see the same stuff every run, which can get boring in my opinion. I think the main issue is that Cult of the Lamb is trying to do so much at once that each core part of the game feels like it's very underdeveloped. As much as I'm dogging on this, I actually really do love Cult of the Lamb. It has such a fun premise and gameplay loop, and with each update, those issues slowly get reduced. Holy peak! Plants vs. Zombies is a legendary tower defense game that everyone should experience at least once in their life. PvZ is my lifetime favorite franchise. I love all the games to death, and I've played 90% of them, including Plants vs. Zombies Adventure. Holy moly, that was my bread and butter. I miss you every day, BP and popcorn. I had a blast getting the 100%, minus iZombie. It flabbergasted me how poorly designed iZombie is compared to the rest of the game. I physically could not get the achievement until I got the most insane luck possible. I got 3 Scaredy Shroom stages out of the 10 I needed to beat, which is just like a free win button. All I know is that I pray iZombie isn't as hard and luck dependent in the upcoming remake, Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. I love Terraria so much. It pains me to put it here, but if you know anything about the achievements, you would understand. Terraria is the best survival sandbox game of all time. Fight me. I wish Terraria had an easier learning curve because it is really hard to get people into this game without just explaining everything or having them pull out the wiki. I could glaze this game for an eternity, but what this game does terribly is the achievements. There are some achievements that are just not fun to go for in the slightest. We all know the crowning achievement that ruins this game's 100%, Supreme Helper Minion. If you don't know how to get it, let me enlighten you. You have to complete a total of 200 angler quests. You can only accept 1 angler quest per in-game day. Each day lasts a total of 24 minutes. You can already see the issue, right? It gets better. There's 41 distinct quest fish in the game, and each of them are caught in different areas. In all fairness, some of them do overlap. But if you want to do this legit, may fortune favor you. For everyone else, you can cheese this. So that's what I did, but even with it, it took me about 2 hours of brain-numbing nothingness. This isn't like an AFK achievement either, so you can't just like put on the background, go do something. You have to constantly click, so it's like a worse version of the SUPERHOT mind-controlled elite one. Oh, by the way, you get nothing for doing this besides getting the achievement.
On a positive note, Terraria is incredible and is rich with content. I'm looking forward to the actual final update to the game. Well, that is until they decide to make another final update a year later.
Crab Champions is one of the best multiplayer roguelikes I've ever played. Risk of Rain 2 was up there, and then it got sold and became complete ass. Crab Champions has a good update cycle and usually gets a decent sized update about every 6 to 8 months. None of the achievements are too crazy either. It's just the usual be good at the game and beat everything on max difficulty. Definitely worth checking out, even if you have to play single player. Bugsnax is one of the most charming games I've ever touched. Bugsnax is a creature collector revolving around food critters. Bunger is easily the best thing to come out of this game. Truthfully, I had to spoil myself, and I bought a Bunger plush. I couldn't live without my glorious king. Bugsnax is one of the easier games I've 100%ed, but that enhances the experience truthfully. The DLC is a little weaker than the base game, but I'm not going to complain about more content. Bugsnax is the perfect length of a game, only taking me about 14 hours to get. One of the few games I recommend everyone should 100%. Now, Slime Rancher is the most charming game I've ever played. Bugsnax is good, but it ain't no Slime Rancher. Even if these spots are adjacent to each other, the gap between them is gigantic. Slime Rancher is an adventure farm simulator where you raise different types of slimes. This game was a huge part of my childhood. I remember how cool it was seeing people mod and create their own Slime Rancher maps early in its development cycle. When the rad slime finally dropped, I was so excited. Genuinely one of my favorite slimes in the game. I'm gonna be honest, I'm an old head when it comes to this game. I never cared for the extra areas they added way after launch, like the Slimulation or the Glass Desert, but going back to those areas to actually 100% the game, I had a blast with all of it. Even the speedrunning mode was fun to play. Slime Rancher is only slightly longer than Bugsnax, but this is a must-play game. Dave the Diver is an amazingly crafted adventure RPG where you dive to catch fish and retrieve them to sell them at your sushi shop. Oh yeah, and I guess you can also play as Godzilla. What a shocking game. I never expected a random game that isn't some multiplayer shooter or whatever to have a collaboration with 3 of my favorite properties, being Dredge, Godzilla, and Yakuza. All these collabs are also handled so incredibly well. The Dredge DLC plays almost exactly like Dredge and is the perfect fusion between them. If you didn't know about Dredge beforehand, you could genuinely believe that it was just a part of the base game. It's a little harder to believe that with Godzilla and Yakuza, but that doesn't mean they aren't good. Godzilla is such a crazy collab hole in the grand scheme of things, but it's great. You get to play a 2D fighter as the legendary Heisei era burning Godzilla, and you get to fight Ibra, which fits perfectly but is such a niche pull of a character. Over to the Yakuza DLC, getting to play an arena fighter with Ichiban and being able to sing karaoke is so perfect. They handled the characterizations perfectly. These are devs who actually care about the property they are collabing with.
The only flaw in Dave the Diver is that it's really hard to replay certain content. In most cases, you have to replay the entire game if you don't have a save ready. The achievements are not too hard to get, but there's this one missable achievement, and with no easy way to go back and get it, it could be a thorn in your side. Even with that, Dave the Diver is, say it with me now,
one of the most charming games I've ever played. I don't know what you want me to say. I like good games. Dredge is easily up there in my top 10 games I've ever played. Dredge is a cozy psychological horror fishing game. Yes, you heard me correctly. This game is both cozy and psychological horror. This game isn't too scary for the most part, but it does have its moments here and there. Dredge has such a unique, captivating atmosphere to it. It has one of my favorite art styles in gaming as a whole. It's simple but effective and beautiful, and on top of that, it's a horror game. This is another relatively short playthrough. I've actually 100%ed this game twice. It took me around 12 hours to 100% everything, including the DLCs, which are very good. Dredge's story isn't anything too crazy, but it tells a good tale. Stardew Valley, what can I say? This game is perfect, and it still is getting updates. Stardew Valley is the best farming simulator and best cozy game ever made. You will be extremely hard pressed into finding something better than this game. It handles everything really well. Some people don't like the combat, but I think it's pretty clear that if Stardew Valley had a rich combat system, that it would alienate a majority of its player base. Reaching perfection was such a good grind. I could see it being a little much to get playing casually, but it's not outside the realm of possibilities. The one achievement that I think really doesn't fit is Fector's Challenge. This isn't a brainless grind achievement like Terraria's is. Fector's Challenge is actually surprisingly hard. It requires you to beat Journey of the Prairie King Deathless, which plays completely differently from the rest of the game and gets decently hard in the later stages. You can actually cheese this achievement a bit if you didn't know. The arcade machine saves your progress if you leave, so you can get to the beginning of each stage, back out and sleep, and that allows you to reset if you mess up and die. One last fun tidbit, when I was doing my JoJo Cola route playthrough, I got a lucky ring from a crate in Skull Caverns. The Binding of Isaac Rebirth is my favorite game of all time. So why is it only number 2 on my list? Before I answer that, let me explain what this game is. The Binding of Isaac Rebirth is the roguelike of all time. I don't care what you have to say, but Isaac is the roguelike of all time. Isaac is a dungeon crawling roguelike with the most replayability I've ever seen in any game. If you own all of the DLC, you get 719 unique items, 102 bosses, 20 mini bosses, 336 monsters, 34 playable characters, 4 main game modes, 45 challenge runs, 127 trinkets, and so much more. All of this ties together and perfectly synergizes to form a masterpiece of a game. So with all of this, why is it only number 2? My favorite game of all time. The game I have 800 hours in. Why is this number 2? It's simple. 100%ing Isaac is a journey. One of the best journeys I've ever embarked on. But I don't think it's as complete of a package as the number 1 spot is. The difference between the top 5 and the rest of the list is how much replayabilities these games have. If the game is good enough to get me to come back and 100% it over and over again, that is a truly great game. The number 1 spot is the game I 100%ed more times than any other game. Isaac is so grand, but it is a journey without end. The best game I ever 100%ed is Inscryption is a masterpiece made by Daniel Mullins Games. Inscryption is a puzzle roguelike deck builder, but boiling it down to just that is an injustice. This game is the best to play going in blind. I will not spoil anything about Inscryption today. I have 100%ed the entire game 3 times. Everything is made perfectly. I love card games so much, and Inscryption has such well-designed mechanics, and the puzzles are so good. Inscryption's story is mwah, chef's kiss, and has this really cool ARG that ties into the story perfectly, which you should check out after you finish the game. Inscryption has so much replayability just because it hides bonus content so well, and because of that, it makes going for the achievements so fun. There's this one achievement that is probably the most creative achievement ever made in anything, requiring outside stuff. Sadly, I can't go into any more detail about it without spoiling major parts of the game. The bonus game DLC, Casey's Mod, was such a good send-off as well. Inscryption is everything and more. Truthfully, I cried when I finished the game for the first time. That's how much it touched my heart. Please, if you take anything away from this video, go and play Inscryption. You don't have to 100% it, but this is the most fun I've had ever 100%ing a game. I hope you enjoyed my first video on this channel. I'm gonna keep going strong, and I plan to have a video up every Thursday. If you did enjoy this video and you want to see me again, let me know by liking and subscribing. It's a simple action and it means the world to me. If you would have made changes to the list, let me know in the comments. Maybe Fungiman is your favorite game of all time, and you think I'm an idiot for not being able to see it as the masterpiece it is. Anyways, I'll see y'all next week. Take care and carpe diem.
I don't have a sister.
So
I mean, neither.
I wasn't. Yeah, that's my bad.
Yes, you do, Val.
If your mom. Oh
Wait,
shit,
yeah, I actually do. What the fuck?
How did you forget?
Are you serious?
Wait, yeah, I
me
actually,
neither.
low-key, I forgot, bro.